Hello everyone and welcome back to the Belgian Beer Brothers channel. Cedric here with another brew review, and today I am returning to the Cistercian monks as I'll be tasting another Trappist beer. Today we're gonna talk about Tynt Meadow, and Tynt Meadow is the only British Trappist beer. It was developed around 2017 with the help of the monks from Norcia in Umbria, Italy, Saint-Wadrille, France, and Zundert, the Netherlands. Now, the Cistercian monks are a strict order of monks that value simplicity, meaning that they tend to boil down complex tasks and processes to simpler, well-structured, smaller chores. That's mainly how they live their whole life, and also how they live their faith, and how they perform their work as well, of course. Now, this way of life shines through in all aspects of the beer. For starters, let's take a look at the label. Since monks are historically great scholars, and the Cistercians most of it, reading and writing has always taken up a significant part of their lives, so this label is a tribute to this. The letters are a slightly more modern version of the 12th century Cistercian script, which is designed by Brother Anselm Baker, and I do mean the modern version. The logo, which we can see here at the bottle cap, are a minimalistic quill drawing of the lancet windows of the St. Bernard Church, so the 3 windows at the top. Traditionally, most Trappist beers are named after the location that they're being brewed in, like Westmalle, Westvleteren, Chimay, Zundert, Orval. And by tradition, Leicestershire or Charwood would have been a logical choice, after the town or the forest that they are located in, or at least nearby. Other Trappist beers, mainly outside of Belgium, are often named after the abbey that brews them as well, like La Trappe, again Orval, but also Mont des Quatre, which these days is a Trappist too, or Stift Engelsel. Some people say that this beer was supposed to be called St. Bernard Trappist after the Mount St. Bernard Abbey, but the Belgium St. Bernardus beer, which is also named after St. Bernard, already copyrighted that name. Now, I don't know how much truth there is to that claim, but the St. Bernard monks decided to call the beer Tynt Meadow after the small derelict cottage that preceded their abbey and housed the first monks during the build. Of course, if you want to know that whole story, I'll put a link up here to that video. Now, as far as the beers go, or the beer goes, the brothers landed on a recipe that meets tradition in different ways. On one side, the long brewing tradition of monks in general, often brewing a strong dark beer like a double. But on the other side, England has a centuries-old brewing tradition as well. And they made even darker beers like porters and stouts with heavily roasted malts, or the slightly lighter Scotch ales. Mount St. Bernard is one of few Cistercian abbeys that brew only one beer, and they went for a strong dark beer containing only English barley and hops and fermented with an English yeast strain. It is also re-fermented in the bottle and said to be very full-bodied and aromatic, but well, I guess we'll just have to find that out for ourselves, won't we? So, let's get to the fun part. Let's get to tasting this beer. Ooh, that's chocolatey, slightly roasted. I wouldn't say coffee, but maybe like a latte. I'm gonna start with the pour immediately because it's quite active. Now, this is my 18 centiliter authentic Trappist product taster glass, so I will be having 2 again. This is indeed slightly dark, I would say. Actually, rather a dark reddish color. It's not pitch black. I have heard this being described as mahogany, and I think that is quite spot on. But if I shine light through it, it does have a nice, yeah, deep cherry reddish shine to it. So I love that. Beige foam. Not a lot of foam, but it's there, it's there. And I do indeed get a bit of, yeah, coffee, but like I said, it's a thin coffee, like a macchiato. I do get a bit of chocolate. I also get a bit of dried fruits, like figs or raisins. But still a bit of chocolate. So this actually reminds me of like a hybrid between a porter and a Scotch ale, which I'm not opposed to, I guess. Some nice bubbling going on there. Yeah, very lovely. Okay, let's have a taste. Cheers. Oh wow. Very full-bodied, very rich, quite heavy as well. Not as sweet as a Scotch ale. It is quite light. It is rather thin, let's say medium-bodied, but I am getting a lot of roasty flavors immediately. Actually, very roasty. I wouldn't say it's a stout, but it does have a lot of roasted malts in there. A slightly sweet, less chocolate in the taste than it has in the smell. Because it does have a quite chocolatey fragrance. But the taste is more coffee, more caramelized onion, a bit of bread, a bit of burnt bread actually. Yeah, quite burnt. Slight hint of licorice maybe. And again, a bit of dried fruits. I'd say some figs, some dates maybe. And that does come back in the aftertaste. So the initial taste is rather aggressive. The aftertaste is a bit more rounded. I still get a bit of coffee, I still get some roasty flavors, but it's a lot more mellow. And the dried fruits come out way more, way more. So again, figs, raisins, dates, overripe fruit. And I honestly believe that this would go very well with yeah, the monks' way of life, but also their way of eating. And I do mean simple things like a buttered marmalade sandwich or something like that. Yeah. I wouldn't call this a breakfast stout, but I do see this going very well with dairy products. Maybe with some stronger cheeses, some salty cheeses. And I do mean cheese, not cheeses. Pardon me. Okay. I'm actually very glad that I tried this beer. Yeah, I absolutely love it. So let's hope that the Mount St. Bernard Abbey doesn't quit brewing anytime soon, like the Spencer Trappist or the Achel, which we're going to talk about in a while as well. I'm going to try to cover all Trappists. But yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this a bit further. How should I score this beer? I would say, again, I'm really on a run here. Again, 3.5, 375 ish. Very well brewed beer, very lovely, very rich, nice body to it. Not too sugary, but not too bitter either. There is a lot of bitterness in there because of the roasty malts. It does linger on in the back of the throat, the roof of the mouth. So yeah, it's very, very well balanced. But of course, with all the knowledge and know-how that they got from local brewers, from fellow brewing monks, from Trappist colleagues, what would you expect? And I do love how they stay true to their own tradition, to their British tradition with the roasted malts, with the British yeast strain, which is, by the way, also often used in Belgium. Maybe not the same one, but at least some British yeast strains. So yeah, at least 3.5, 375. If you guys get the chance, go out and buy one of these. Absolutely lovely. So, as usual, if you have any remarks, questions, whatever, leave them down in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Yeah, if you like this video, let me know, hit the thumbs up. That will greatly help me with the YouTube algorithm. If you want to help out a bit more, share a video. And if you want to see more yourself, hit subscribe and the bell icon. You'll get notified whenever I upload something, which will be Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 6 p.m. my time. So about 12 in Florida, New York. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.